I'm going to show you a lie. It's about me. And then I'm going to correct it and then explain to you why it's important that we call out these kind of lies. Oh, and by the way, my name's Chet. That will become oddly important.
Any company that has made first person shooters and such in the last 20, 30 years, almost all of them, if not all of them, have contracts with the US military. Specifically, they're being paid to allow the military to edit their scripts and stuff.
I mean, this is simply not true. He goes on and says that Valve is part of the military complex. They're not. And I posted it. I told him this is none of this is true. He's saying that if you use any likeness of any weapon or any gun or anything, that you have to get military approval, and then that opens up that they can edit your script. That's simply not true. I've worked on a bunch of games. I've worked on a bunch of FPSs. I've worked on FPSs with M4s. It's simply not true, right? There's no truth to this at all. Where people do use military is for something like Call of Duty, where they want to have the authentic way something would be done or something. They hire contractors that help them do this, right? Or they contract with the military. And in there, it does get to this place where they use those people. That is the only time it ever gets used. The military is actually running the entire games industry, which is what he insists. He insists Epic because the military uses the Unreal Engine. Yeah, so what? But so I goaded him into saying how I never gotten a check. Because I've never gotten a check. I mean, to be clear, like this person sees like conspiracy in everything, and there's just, if anyone's ever told you you're not intelligent, they are wrong. You are more intelligent than this person. This person wears slide-on shoes. And I bet you they wear slide-on shoes for two reasons. One, they can't figure out knots. And then said the word knots out loud. And they're like, oh, knots, see, no, oh my gosh, it's like this guy. And I can't have any part to do with him. Like, right? Like, that is the weird flood of brain that happens here. But I'm going to get into a little bit of his on how Left 4 Dead is. I'll let him say it.
This commenter is a war profiteer and propagandist.
I wanted to get a cigar for this.
And he's mad at me for pointing this out. So let's go through the evidence and see if I'm correct, or if, as he says, none of this is true. Now, this is Chet. Can I call you Chet? I'm going to call you Chet. This is Chet.
Oh my God, he's on to me. My name's Chet. I use that as my name everywhere. I don't ever hide my name. But boy, can I call you Chet? Yeah. No, call me Sergeant Profiteer, you motherfucker.
Chet is the lead writer on this little game right here you may have heard of. It's called Left 4 Dead. Pretty popular. So, I've never played it, but let's go through and see if I can validate my claim that he is pro-US military and is acting as a propagandist for them.
Boris wants you to know that the official way that you research things is by not experiencing them or playing them, but instead you Google them and then go on the first result and then make stuff up. Oh wait, I'm jumping ahead. But yes, I am fascinated. What have we done?
Don't have to go far, because here, one of the main characters is a Vietnam vet. Interesting. Now, if you know history, you'll know that America certainly was not the protagonist of that particular story.
I think their grasp of the English language and history are about as good as their grasp on this subject matter. In particular, Bill's based on we called him a Vietnam vet, but this is based on my father, who was a World War II and Korea War vet, which I guess makes him a horrible human being because, but we use him as a reference because Eric and I both know him, and we could, like, his lines like "go pound salt" and stuff like that come from him. And so then later, when we actually kill him in the episode The Sacrifice, that came from Gabe had suggested take the character that you care about the most and kill them because you will treat them with the most respect for going through that. And so he does that. And yes, Oddly enough, I do not think that everybody who's ever been in the U.S. military is a horrible, horrible human being.
So, but let's learn little bit more about the character. That doesn't necessarily mean that Chet Boy here is a propagandist and a war profiteer. Let's take a look. Oop. Oh, that don't look good for you, Chet. Portraying him as heroic. Certainly an interesting choice. But this is an alternative universe. Maybe it has nothing to do. Maybe it's completely different in universe Nam that has nothing to do with what happened in the real world.
I mean, maybe if you played the game, you would know it's not set in Vietnam War. I don't know. Like, so a lot of the Left 4 Dead is pulled from 70s memes about, like, they weren't really called memes then, but you know what I'm saying. So like Dawn of the Dead's my favorite zombie movie, and a lot of like the setting for No Mercy and all of that and the wallpaper and all of that is taken from that same period. We wanted to reflect that. And so originally, like what we redid some of the characters. I liked having Bill be the Vietnam vet character because in the 70s, that was often used as kind of like the loser, hard on their luck person who just was downtrodden because they didn't get, they got kind of shortchanged. And so accepting him and having him then play that character in Left 4 Dead, where then he was able to kind of take out of this kind of rough life and stand up and protect the people that he was with, I thought was a kind of an interesting play on that, right? But to think that we had this takes place in Vietnam and it's an alternate Vietnam. I am trying to think of bad entendres about Vietnam that we could use for a title. Charlie's Company, and then have the character be called, I don't, it's not worth my time on this stuff because we're never going to make a Vietnam version of Left 4 Dead, no matter how stupid someone is.
Well, that that's a link. Okay. Wonder where that link goes. Maybe it's just to information about the in-universe in the in-universe unit, and there's no connection to anything real or
Wait a minute. This person doesn't know how the internet works? Like, they have no concept. Like, so they can't find any dirt on any official Left 4 Dead site because we don't talk about this stuff. But instead, the community on a fan fiction Wikipedia page makes some stuff up because it's a fan wiki. They make up all kinds of stuff. We don't correct it because, like, once you release something, it takes the life of its own, and people have that, and they want to build up. They love Bill so much they want to build up his character in their eyes, so they make him even more special than he was, right? And so this person doesn't understand how I can stop there. I don't have to go any further, but I'll go further. They don't understand how links work. So they're going to go click a link now to the special forces and find out that let's watch. Just remember, this has nothing to do with anything I've written or have anything to do with the character. This is some fan fiction site linked to the Wikipedia about something at this point entirely unrelated.
Oh no. Look at all of that. Look at all of that. Now you can go onto Wikipedia and you can read more. But it's a real unit. Fascinating. So I did a little bit of research that this particular app will not let me put up here. But if you look into this unit, and specifically at the time of Nam, you will find out that they were on Okinawa. And, well, if you look up Okinawa, you'll find that they took part in some pretty awful things. If you do look it up, I'm going to give you a trigger warning right now for mass SA and mass unalivings of innocent people. So, that's not good.
They're so convoluted down the line. You have to remember the original argument here is that I am paid by the military to write. And so the way that they're paying me to write is, instead of making Bill a sympathetic pro character by somehow the military paid me to put a character in our game to link him to something from 50 years ago, but never talk about it directly, never actually associate him with the group, and that group not being known for that. But if you do a bunch of research and just keep Googling horrible things, you eventually find, and that was my gotcha. See, I gotcha. You get me my check, U.S. Army or the Marines. I don't know who these people are anymore, but I want my check. I want my check, Biden. I deserve to get paid for this mind game I took everybody through in Left 4 Dead. Because if you probably can't even see this video, because probably the instant you got done playing Left 4 Dead, you signed up for the U.S. military. Yeah, see, I should be getting that check. I want that check. I want that check to be like, oh my God, I shouldn't negotiate against myself. Leave in your comments how big my check should be from the U.S. military for this ingenious web I've weaved. It's good. It's good. You got to admit. Give me my check, Biden.
It's not good. Betrayed is heroic by Chet Boy here.
They're really bad at getting to the point. Maybe because there is no point, but I cut some stuff here because I just want to get to the meat of the matter, the point that they're trying to make about me, and they wanted to say my name a lot more because, oh my gosh, that gets me every time.
Part of the DoD, they have as part of their contract, if you want to use their vehicles, their, any of that, they have to approve the script, which means if they don't approve it, you either have to change all of those assets, re-record all of that, all of the movie and everything, or you have to change the script. But Chet Boy here was so confused because the military never made him edit his script. I wonder why. Chet Boy.
Yeah, I wonder why you didn't actually look at the script at all. I mean, people who played obviously clearly can see from besides Bill's character, there's also the talk of how CETA, our kind of government agency dealing with things like pandemics, is ineffective, and then the military actually, if you're paying attention, right, talks about they actually kill innocent civilians and the whole stuff at the end, and like, we make the military the bad guy through the entire game, but Bill's an army vet, so hey, I'm wrong, yeah. And the whole thing is, I think I said M4, it's actually an M16 in the game, but I mean also like Special Ops, the line. Clearly the government, the military is not okaying that. That is just entirely false. You can use those replicas because we're taxpayers. They have to allow us to use them. They have no say in it. They have no say in it. Everything he says is false. Seriously, every single thing he says is false. It is just nonsense. But here's why I bring this up. Because a couple of you are going to be like, well, hang on a minute. This little thing he said is true. Your name's Chet. It is true. But we have this thing of once we get something in our head, or we hear something, or we hear someone refuting such stupidity. This seriously is the stupidest thing I have heard this year. But when we hear this, we feel bad that someone's that stupid. We feel bad that this person's probably going to get hit by a car today crossing the street because they're that stupid. They are literally the stupidest person I have encountered this year. And I encounter a lot of stupid people. My 2-year-old niece was way more intelligent. But what happens is we feel empathy for their stupidity. We want to have them not be so stupid because it hurts us and their stupidity. So what we'll try to do is, and some people come out and be like, well, actually, though, and they'll try to defend this. They'll try to counter this because he's contextualized something so stupid. So we have this context in our brain that says, well, hang on a minute, right? And this is why I speak out against this kind of stuff. This is why I think Twitter is such a horrible place, because Elon Musk there is saying, hey, replacement theory, all of his racist stuff, all his white national stuff, all his transphobia stuff, all of that stuff that he is continually saying puts that in our brain. Even if we say, hey, I don't read that stuff, I'm not there, I'm not about that, I'm using that site for something else, it contextually puts that in there so that when the conversation starts about those topics, the Overton window, the what we think is acceptable speech to talk about, has moved. And he's celebrated that movement, right? He has said that we should criminalize any mental health for anybody under 18 if it deals with their sexuality and who they are as a person. That is what Elon Musk has said, right? I donate to the Trevor Project. He wants to shut the Trevor Project down and said he will use the profits from Twitter to do so. You have to stop that. You have to remove that. And we have to speak out against that. And we have to speak out against stupidity like this. This person could be the nicest person about, like, hey, I've spoken at length, even on my own platform here. It's about games, about not being, being against the genocide and calling out those people that want to talk about these things in positive light, because we need to keep doing that. We need to keep building the tent and making it larger. And I've talked about not calling out people that you have a couple of minor disagreements with if they're directionally in the way that you want to go. Still believe that. But this is just such stupidity. And what it's done is, if you look in the very first video, and don't look in it, just trust me, that there's like some mom kind of characters and dads who are like, oh, I had no idea. I'm going to have to get my kid to stop playing games. And you're like, no, right? And so this kind of stupidity just should be stomped out, should be called out. I doubt they're going to understand what I'm saying. So I'm not making this for them. I'm not linking it to them. I'm not replying to them, because that brain is not going to be able to hold a complex thought that isn't the first result in Google. But clearly, if you play the game Left 4 Dead, the military does not come out as being the cool place to be. That said, Bill is a character I very much like, and I hate when anybody calls him out. I also like Jim French, who's the actor for Bill, who would never, oh my God, I could see Jim French. It was hard to get Jim French to swear. I had to tell him, like, these were lines my dad said. I had to show him a picture of my dad at one point. Jim French is the most lovely, beautiful person. He was not going to do something evil, and to have this person drag his history through here is just grotesque. And you'll see this though, right? Like, if you go, don't go to their account, but if you go to their account, like, all of their videos are some equally stupid linkage that they don't understand. They are just so stupid. And just some days, you know what? I got a million things to do today, but I'm going to take what has been 45 minutes out of my day to refute stupidity, because it is so stupid. So, other than that, I hope you guys are having fun. We're going to play some games today. I'm looking forward to that. And oh my gosh, I hope after I play some of the Anacrusis this afternoon that I don't sign up for the military, because I know I'm going to pretty overwhelmingly want to.